At the beginning of my handmade business journey, I had the same sort of question as to where I should start selling my products. Back in 2018, I started with a WordPress site because I came across a course saying how you'll be in total control of your business. You know, no one can shut your site down and take it away from you, like perhaps a platform where that you could just be shut off. You wouldn't be paying the commission for a platform, and it was generally a good idea. So I started with a WordPress site. So I used Elementor, which is a drag and drop sort of site creator for WordPress, and I found some hosting that was recommended. It was pretty good value. But actually what I found is that sometimes by trying to be too economical and having the cheapest hosting, it might not be actually that fast and responsive when shoppers are on your site. So pages take ages to load, and they'll probably just bounce off and go and shop somewhere else because, you know, well, that's what I'd do if a site's taking too long to load. You'll just be like, bye bye. I would only recommend having a WordPress website for your business if either you are experienced with running a WordPress site and making sure all the updates are loaded and they don't crash your site, everything's working, and of course you're responsible for your site security when you're dealing with, you know, transactions and your customers' data. So yeah, while I followed a step-by-step course on how to build the site, that was fine and the site was running no problem. But if you get problems, then yeah, if you don't have the experience on what to do, you'll get stuck, and then the site's no good anyway because, well, it's not working anymore. No one can shop there. Or the other thing is, if you've got the resources to outsource the running of your website, then that's another option as well. But for me, as a relatively new solopreneur, it was just taking up too much of my time, so I abandoned the idea. So next I tried Shopify. So whether it's Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, there's several other e-commerce platform providers as well. They're all kind of based on a general idea that it's easy to create your online store using templates and, you know, drag and drop, what you see is what you get kind of site building, and, you know, things like secure payments and security is all baked in, as well as things like email list integration, voucher codes, and so on. All the background maintenance and hosting is taken care of, so you can just concentrate on making your products and putting them up for sale. As similar to your website, there will be some more fees because that's, I guess, you're paying for the service provided by, say, Shopify. So you pay the monthly fee, but in exchange, a lot of the kind of back end stuff is taken care of for you. Fees are generally lower than a platform such as Etsy or Amazon Handmade. So it sounds good. And it is good as long as you've got the ability to drive your own traffic. So whether you have a large email list or a big social media following, if that's you, then I would recommend Shopify or the likes of Shopify to start your online store. For me, I started with a Shopify store when my handmade business started. And I was quite naive, and I thought, you know, you build the site, it looks great, and people will come and buy your stuff. No way. So obviously, it's obvious now, without you kind of driving your own visitors to your store one way or another, no one's going to know about it, and you be lucky to get sale. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this kind of thing if you don't have a big social media following, because you have to consider that on a good day, for every 100 people that visit your store, perhaps about 5 of those will make a purchase. So you've got to be sending some considerable traffic. So if you have the know-how or the time or the resource to hire someone to do your advertising for you, then that can work. And obviously there's a cost to online advertising, so that's something to consider in part of your business plan and your profitability. But for me, back when I started, there was no budget for kind of like outsourcing advertising experts and so on. So I did try following the guides you get on YouTube and so on, but without that kind of real experience, I was just wasting money essentially, because I wouldn't know how to target the ads properly on Facebook, for example, or even Google Ads. And yeah, you'd get clicks, but they wouldn't really convert. So people would visit and not buy, probably because, you know, if you haven't built up that reputation or following, no one will know who you are, and probably not going to take the risk to buy from someone that they don't know or a company they don't know about. So no matter where you choose to start selling your products, I think the even more important is it's just to start and take action. So whether it's just starting your shop or growing it, I think it's really easy to get too like distracted in the beginning with all the little details. I found the best sort of use of my time was to get going and add more to it, gain your experience, build up your reputation and a following, and momentum will build and kind of snowball, and you'll see you get more and more sales, repeat customers. And also don't lose sight of promoting your brand on social media. But actually that's another benefit of using Etsy, is they handle all that for you. If you don't have time to do your Instagram, your Pinterest, your TikToks, your Facebook posts, all that kind of thing, it all takes time, and really I that's part of my plan to do, and I very rarely post every day or do a video every day to promote my brand. So if you're busy or you can't outsource that kind of social media management, that's another tick for Etsy. As you grow, you don't just have to sell on the one place, because quite likely that what you're watching this video on, that device, you could buy from the manufacturer or Amazon or other resellers, say someone on eBay or in the physical shop itself. So you can always grow later on, because at the end of the day, if you're selling stuff to make money, you just want to sell as many as you can, right? So that's something to bear in mind as well. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to leave your comments and questions down below, and I hope to see you in the next video.